Hey guys, for my project I decided to do the cultural and military history of horses and how they were used. Horses were often used for agriculture in the 1900s. They pulled, plows, and hauled lumber. They were often used in the Industrial Revolution to help work the machinery by pulling or pushing equipment. Many working class did not use their horses for pleasure. They had to make them earn their keep. They were also used for transportation in the 1900s. If you couldn't afford a car, you had a horse. They would pull wagons and carriages for people in the cities. They also pulled doctors to their patients, delivered goods, and pulled fire engines in towns. If you were going from Brook Point to D.C. in a car in the 1900s, it would take you about 40 minutes. If you were going by horse, it would take you 10 hours. They were often used in the military in World War I. The British and Germans were the most known for their cavalry. But as the weapons became more advanced, horses were outdone. They were used for ambulances, artillery, and cavalry. The British had 62,000 horses returned home. France lost all of their horses, and each cavalry had around 200,000 men. Horses were used for different jobs. They had a lightweight draft, which would be closer to her size, for riding cavalry, and then they had heavyweight drafts that were used for pulling machinery. The British cavalry charged against the Germans in 1914. Out of the 150,000, 4 made it back. They also played a support role as they were less and less used in war. They would deliver necessities to the front line. Over 8 million horses died between both sides of the war. They were also used in racing in the 1930s. It was extremely popular back then. It was a quick way to make a lot of money for those who were less fortunate. It also joined all the classes together. It didn't matter if you were rich or poor, at the racetracks you were betting on horses. Some of the most famous horses of the 1930s were Seabiscuit and War Admiral. They were also used for regular riding. Frederick Capilli, an Italian cavalry officer, developed what we call the forward seat in 1904, which I will show you in a minute. It was used for cross-country racing and the military used it. He was the first to use physics and gravity to move with the horse. Another thing that changed were the saddle pads. This type of saddle pad was most commonly used in the early 1900s. It was a shaped pad, and it was just there to give your horse a little support for their back. They later developed the square pad, which was a little bit bigger and offered even more support. And then the sheepskin came along. This gave your horse extra support for their back, and was used more commonly in the later 1900s. I will show you forward seat in a minute. As I said before, two-point was common in jumping and cross-country. It looked something like this. Although it was common in Europe, it did not reach the U.S. until much later because the only way they had to show it was boats. I'll insert some clips of me riding in two-point. Trotting in forward seat would have looked like this.